Hello, quilt artisans. My name is Shonda, and welcome to my channel, Under the Needle Quilting and Crafts. It's Thursday. I have not done an update video in a little over 2 weeks. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm just updating you guys. It's been pretty slow. This is a slow time for me. And the roof repairs did not help. But so basically, I'll start with the saying that I've been kind of kicking around for the past week or two. I'm still there's some that from the older ones that have stuck with me, as far as like comparison is the thief of joy. Like, I live with that every day. Like, every day or every other day, I have to tell myself that. Sometimes regarding my own thoughts, and sometimes when I hear the thoughts of others. Like, when I hear people speak and say things, and I'm like, comparison is the thief of joy. You know what I mean? Like, it's just sitting really well within me, that saying. But regardless of that, another one I've been living with, because I just had a birthday. I had a birthday yesterday, and I turned 49 years old, which is crazy to me. Crazy to me. But it's never too late to be what you might have been, right? And for somebody like me, I grew up I grew up in a very poor neighborhood. I grew up without a lot of money, but I had a lot of love. And even though my mother was very young when she had me. She was 16 years old when I was born. She had two younger sisters. So my mother was 16. Her sisters would have been 15 and 14. And I had my grandparents. So I had a village. So maybe my mother didn't make a lot of money, but between my mother and her sisters and my grandparents, I had a community of people to help take care of me. So I never wanted for anything. Now, mind you, I grew up in the 70s and 80s before this period of overconsumption, where like when back to school comes, you get like $500 worth of crap. No, when back to school came for me, I got a couple of outfits. I got one pair of shoes, one pair of sneakers, one pair of Nikes. And I would get, maybe my mother would give me a budget, and I would usually come out with, 3 or 4 new outfits to start the school year that I could kind of mix and match with my existing wardrobe, right? It's not like kids today where, or some kids, nothing like that. But because I was, I grew up really young. I mean, my mother was really young when I was born, and I lived in a very poor neighborhood. And then I myself had a child very young. I was 19 when my daughter was born. She was born in June, and I turned 20 that September. And so, I didn't go to college, and I missed out on a lot of things. And there are things that maybe I wanted to do that maybe I didn't get to do, or things that I wanted to try that I didn't get to try. And I've been doing some of those things now that I'm older and my kids are older. I've been doing some of those things, but there are things that I want for myself. And it's not too late for me to get those things. So I think what I would like to do, I am going to be I'm going to be brainstorming some things that I would like to do in the next year, right? Just some goals. I would like to set some goals for myself. I feel like that's a better way to say it. I would like to set some goals for myself that I would like to attain before I reach the age of 50. That is what I would like to do. I haven't decided what those things are. I'm not trying to shoot the moon here. I'm not trying to do anything like drastic, but I would like to set, a few goals that I would like to achieve before I turn 50. I don't know what those are going to be. I really want to sit down with myself and think about what I want. Some of those things might be for my personal self. Some of these things might be for my home. Some of these things might be for my finances. Some of these things might be for my interpersonal relationships with others. And I don't want to overwhelm myself right, by having too much. So I want to be realistic. So I want to kind of make some categories of things, like I just mentioned, as far as me personally, house, interpersonally, career wise, potentially financially wise, and just kind of write down specific things and then choose a few that I want to focus on over the next 12 months and see if I can achieve those goals. I think that is how I would like to spend my last year in my 40s. I've got some, little birthday celebrations coming up. Yesterday was my actual birthday. It was a Wednesday. I had just had my family reunion the weekend before. So, I didn't take any time off. I just worked. I worked from home, which was fine, fine with me. Yeah, I worked from home, and I decided I wanted a seafood boil for dinner, and I cooked it myself. And Adrian, he was like, "How you gonna cook for yourself on your birthday?" Which is a valid point. But at the same time, I wanted my food cooked a specific way, and so the best way to get it cooked the way I wanted it was to cook it myself, which is what I did. I like my seafood boils to be a little. Like Adrian, he cooks food really, really well. But I like a lighter touch on my seafood boils. He's heavy handed with the seasoning, which is great for everything for me except my seafood boils. I like my seafood boils dialed back a little bit. So I cooked it myself, and honestly, I kind of wanted to also because I used to make them all the time. Because my ex-husband, he'd never cooked. He didn't cook at all. So I pretty much did 99.9% of the cooking. And after we split up, and then when I met Adrian's a really good cook, so he does a lot of cooking. I still cook, but he does a lot of the cooking as well. And so whenever we would do a seafood boil, I would just have him do it. So I was out of practice. I was like, I haven't made a boil in quite some time. So I decided to make one, and it was good. I made a little butter sauce. It was great. We've got a lot left over, a ton of food left over. So we'll be eating it again tonight, and that should wrap things up. Yeah, so birthday was fun. And then this weekend on Saturday, my middle daughter, we're going to meet for lunch at a Mediterranean spot that I like. And then on Sunday, I'm going to be meeting with one of my oldest friends as far as time. My friend Kathy, Adrian and she and her husband were going to meet up at a little local spot and have some food and a couple beers, and that's going to be a good time. And then in September, later in September, around the 21st, Adrian, myself, and my cousin and her husband, we're going to be taking a trip to the mountains. So just, I'm kind of celebrating the month. And so I just kind of want to take this time to reflect, set some goals, have a good time, and then start implementing those goals in October and see where I get, right? I want to see where I get. I don't know how much I'm going to spend talking about those goals because that's really not what this channel is for, but we shall see. What else have I been up to? Like I said, had my family reunion the weekend before my birthday. I had a good time with my family, of course. Did get some news health-wise, from some of my family members that, there's some new health struggles that are coming up. And of course, that was not good to hear. That was very, very disheartening. And I think that hearing that news is part of what makes me want to reflect on my life over the next year. Just seeing people go through these tremendous health struggles. And then here I am, this, otherwise healthy person, as far as I know, nothing major going on. And just, I just want to take some time to reflect because I feel like I'm taking my life for granted. You know what I mean? I'm taking this time that God has given me for granted, and I need to make more of the time that I have. Hence, it's never too late to be what you might have been. Okay, now I haven't done a whole lot of crafting. Because I haven't put this room together yet. So maybe that's what I'll do this a little bit this weekend. The people came and did the roof. They did a great job. It ended up costing me $2,000. After talking to I'm so bummed that I did not talk to my homeowner's insurance agent before I had the work done, because I probably could have submitted a claim and gotten the entire roof replaced. But, we live and we learn, right? I'll deal with that later. Or at least it was a possibility that I would have been able to do it. So, but I didn't. So I'm just going to take that to mean that God's got a better plan. He's got a different plan as far as me getting this roof replaced, because it's definitely something that's going to have to get done. But they came the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd to do the work. So, they patched up the roof, they fixed what they needed to fix, they replaced the boards they needed to replace and the insulation that needed to be replaced, and cleaned up all the mold and fixed the soft ceiling from the leak. So all that's done, but I still got a 20-year-old roof. So there's that. And so to make that happen, I had to move a lot of stuff out of the way, which I did, which was great. But I just haven't put it back. So I'm just like super, super crowded. Everything is like smushed in on me. And I really just need to take some time to get organized and clean this up a little bit. I don't know what that's going to look like, but maybe I'll just do, I found out about a new app called the Focus Timer. I think I downloaded it. Focus Friend. It's called Focus Friend. And, oops. So basically it's a little bean. And it was an app designed by somebody on Facebook named Hank Green. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him or not. I don't watch a lot of his content, but I've seen some of it. But I came across the app because I was watching a crocheter, and she was using the app to focus on her crochet, and she wanted to see if it helped her focus, because the little bean knits socks. That's what it does. While it's like keeping track of your focus time, it's knitting socks. And it like knits a sock for every some odd minutes or seconds or something like that. I don't know. So maybe I'll try out this app to see how that goes, because I am very all over the place. I am a little ADHD, not diagnosed as such, but I am a bit scatterbrained. I do find it difficult to focus on one task. I'll get distracted and start doing other stuff. So I want to see if I can use the app to help me, right? But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But maybe because I do have plans Saturday and Sunday, and football season starts today. I mean, like the official season, the preseason is over. Official season starts today. I need to set up my fantasy football lineup. Lord, I need to set up my fantasy football lineup. I'm glad I said that, because I forgot about that. And football's a big time here in this house. So we're going to be watching the game tonight. There's a game tomorrow. And then, of course, there are games on Sunday. So, and then, of course, we have the lunch. So I'm going to see if I can finally do an hour Saturday and an hour on Sunday, and maybe in 15 or 30-minute increments, that type of thing, to try to get some of this stuff taken care of so I can work in here again. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. I don't know if I told you, but Adrian and I, we went camping. I don't even remember which weekend that was. I might have told you all about that. So I won't get into camping. But it was a good time. Loved it. So I haven't gotten to work on very much. I really haven't at all. But I did finish the large project from the Open Gate Quote subscription box. I did modify things a wee bit, right? So the pattern had you join the front and the back. wrong sides together so that the raw edge would be here, and then you bind it all the way around. I decided I didn't want that binding all the way around. I personally didn't want that. I wanted the binding at the top, so I put that binding on. But I didn't want the binding around the sides and the bottom. That was just my personal preference. Certainly could have. You get to choose how long you want your handles. I chose to make mine really long because, that's just my preference, because I wanted to be able to put it this way, and I'm a larger person. So I wanted the option to be able to put it, across crossbody, and the option to hold it regular. So that's just what I chose to do. But I did finish this. Super quick, easy project. Loved it. I have not gotten a chance to do the small project yet. So I do need to get on that. But again, it's pretty difficult to create in this space because I have shit everywhere. And it's all crowded up on me. I did find in everything, messing around, I did find a project that I had lost. And that's this little doohickey right here. It's just a small baby blanket that I was making for a cousin of mine. And I had put it away and couldn't remember where I put it. And it was in one of my bins down here and I had it kind of closed up to protect it because the white fabric. So I would like to get this finished. I would like to get that finished. So those are things I need to work on. In my crochet life, I haven't crocheted much. Nothing to show you guys. But I am feeling inspired. I've been picking up my 6-day star blanket. I haven't done a lot. But I did pick it up again. I had picked it up once before. I just picked it up again a few days ago and then promptly put it right back. But I'm hoping tonight, since we're going to be watching football, this would be a good time to just take it out and, work on it. And I'm inspired to finish it because there's Betty McKnit, the pattern designer. She is doing a 6-day star blanket sew along or crochet along that starts later this month on the 10th, I think, or something like that. And I already have the fabric that I want. I mean, the yarn that I want to use for the next star blanket that I make. I haven't decided if I'm going to actually participate in the crochet along. I don't think that I am. I just kind of want to follow it and watch the videos and maybe finish my blanket while the crochet along is going on in September. Like that would be a good time for me to finish my blanket. And it's free on our website. There's a link to the Betty McKnitverse, something like that. And it's basically a free crochet along. You can sign up and there'll be video tutorials and live streams and all that good stuff. And I thought that would be good inspiration for me to finish my existing blanket. Because it'll be great to use that this winter. It would be so great. And I need to finish it so that I can work on this here. This blanket. But yeah, so I need to do that. I keep saying I need to start making myself notes and shit, like some notes, so I'm not so lost when I'm up here talking. But yeah, some notes, some bullet points would be great, right? What have I gotten? I forgot that I had signed up a while back for the Mary Maxim Afghan of the Month Club. Crochet Afghan of the Month Club. And so I ended up getting this. I need to go in and cancel this. I don't need to be getting these. I don't need to be getting these. I don't. But I did make a purchase. I've made a couple of purchases. They're not all here. Because it's my birthday and I spent some money. Not a ton, but I spent a little money. I got 2 pairs of Crocs. I ordered those online, so I have to wait for them to come in the mail. I got 2 pairs of sneakers for about $100. My Crocs were about $100, and I bought some yarn that I don't need for a project that I don't have time to make, but I got it cheap. So let me show you what I got. I saw this project on Ravelry. It's still from the Betty McKnit pattern designer, right? Who did the star blanket, the 6-day star blanket, right? It's her pattern, but let me see. I'm gonna show you guys. Somebody did this blanket in. I never know how to use Ravelry. Oh God, how do I? Am I signed in? I just want to get to like my stuff on here. Am I signed in? Yeah, I'm definitely signed in. So then where's my stuff? Projects. Here we go. Is it in projects? Favorites. Oh, there go my favorites. They make it so hard in here. So this blanket was called the 6-day corner to corner blanket by Betty McKnit, right? And someone did this pattern in this Karen Blossom Cake yarn, and look how friggin' stunning this blanket is. Like just the colors. I can't even do it justice here. That's the blanket. And I saw that sucker and I was like, that is one of the most beautiful things I've seen. And so of course, when Michael's had 40% off, I bought all the colors that I needed to make said project. So we have Tide Pool, Azalea, Tropical Blooms, Radiant Rainbow, and Cabana. These are the colors she used. So maybe if I can finish my star blanket by the 10th, when I do the crochet along, instead of working on the star blanket that Betty McKnit is doing for the sew along, maybe I'll work on this corner to corner blanket. I don't know. I also got a skein of this because I already have some and I was one skein short. So I purchased this. This is the Karen Tea Cake in the color Smoked Fruit. Now I ordered these online to pick up in store, again, because they were 40% off. And Michael's, they do you get 20% almost all the time, right? You can but it's 20% off of full priced purchases, right? And a lot of times when they run these coupons, the items are discounted already. So you can't use the coupon on certain things. You can only use it on a full price thing. And so if the yarn is on sale, buy one, get one free, or buy two, get one free, then you can't use the coupon, the percent off coupon. And Michael's all the times they have 20 and 25% almost all the time. And then sometimes, you'll see the 30 and 35%. The 40% you don't see all the time. So that's the time to start looking when you get the 40%. But like I said, a lot of times when Michael has the 40% off, the yarns are already on sale. And so you can't exercise the use of the coupon, which sucks. But this time the yarn was not on sale. So I was like, add to cart. So I paid $7.79 for each cake. But while I was in there picking up said yarn, I had to look around, right? Like, who would I be? What kind of crafter would I be if I didn't at least look around, right? Gotta look around. And as I'm looking around the store, what do I happen to see? The coveted Karen anniversary cakes. Now, these are a size 6 bulky yarn. Man, there were none on the shelves. I don't even see where they would be on the shelves. But what they did was they had them, it was just a box on the floor. So they have like my particular Michaels, they have a little Karen cake section like in the middle of one of the aisles where they'll put some of the cakes. The rest of them would be in the back, but they just have like a little display area. And in front of that display area was a box. And in that box were 2 cakes. So I got one because I'm not greedy. I bought one. They were on sale for $29.99. And then I had a $5 reward. So it was $25 to get this Karen cake. And honestly, it's really just, it's like FOMO. It's like fear of missing out, right? Like, because this cake is like $40 normally. Like, that's a lot. I think that's a lot. I think that's too much. I think $29.99 is a fair price for this giant ball, right? Because no ends to weave in. No ends. Like, you can make a whole big old lap size blanket with 2 of these, and the only ends you would have to weave in are your first and your last. Like, even when you tie the balls together, you know, if you do the knot method, which I do a lot, but even if you didn't, that's still only 4 ends to weave in for an entire friggin' blanket. That's a selling point. But I think $40 is a bit much for this. But they're just so popular. And they're so hard to get. Like, I went on the Michaels website to see if I could like get another one or get more. No. Like, it's so hard to buy them. It's so hard to find them. I probably have to go into my store, my local store, and maybe look for them to see. But it's hard to get them online right now. But I got mine. And this was one of the colors that I liked. So I had looked at them on the website. And there were some colors that I really liked. I think one is called, I think it's like Tropical Breeze or something like that. And I really like that one. And I think there's another one called Beach Towel, which is similar, but I like the Tropical Breeze the best. And yeah. But I really like these colors. This was one of the ones that I liked. And there's another one called Oceana. So I wanted the Oceana one because I have another blue anniversary cake, and I thought that they would work well together. So we'll see if I can get my hands on one of those. But I don't normally jump in on the trends and the crazes. Like, I didn't jump on the Stanley Cup craze. I didn't jump on the Boo Boo craze and all these other ridiculous crazes. But the anniversary cakes kind of got me because it's just so big. Like, it's literally bigger than my head. Like, how can you not love something that's bigger than your head? A ball of yarn bigger than your head. But this is the colorway Opal. Like I said, this is a size 6 bulky weight yarn. It's 1,000 grams, 1,029 yards, and uses an 8mm crochet hook. Made in Turkey. So that's what I've been up to. But that's what I've been up to. But that's it for me, guys. I'm going to see if I can get some crocheting done. When I come back to you guys for the next update, I would like for that blanket to be completed. That would be great. That would be great. Although I'm not starting my 49 to 50 goals. I'm not starting my birthday goals until October. That would be a nice little mid-range goal for September to get that blanket completed, because I can't start anything new. I'm not allowed to start anything new until I finish that friggin' star blanket. So, we'll see. And you guys do notice I'm wearing my natural hair, right? I haven't worn my natural hair in 2 years. It's been 2 years. I believe it was like August, end of August of 2023 is when the first time I got my hair all kind of braided up. And I've worn it that way for 2 years. I've only taken it down in between styles, but I've actually been wearing this now for a couple of weeks. And, it feels weird because it's not the hair that I'm used to. But, I'm learning it. I'm getting used to it. We'll see. We shall see. Anyway, guys, it'll be good. It's good that things are slowing down. It's good that I was able to make another video. And just remember, it's never too late to be what you might have been. And that's it for me. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.